in the 1930s, I was very worried about fascists of all sorts and kinds. I was brought up in the East End of London, where there were very, very two powerful factions, the communist and fascist. The British Union of Fascists had a very big unit in Bethnal Green. And when I was 16, that would be 1938, there would be all sorts of demonstrations, particularly in Jewish areas. In the Jewish area where I lived, there were confrontations between communists and fascists and communists and Jews, young Jewish men. It's a very interesting, you've caught me on a very good subject, actually. It was a very interesting course. I am Jewish, and my parents were born in England. My grandparents came to England in the middle 1890s, 1895 and 1898. My parents were born in England and educated in England, so I wasn't first generation, I was second generation. Most of my friends would have been first generation, parents not born in England. And as a result of that, they had a different attitude to me. They always wanted to run away because that had been indoctrinated into them by their parents. My dad said, you don't run away from anybody, you stand up to anybody and confront them, because a bully is always afraid of somebody who might confront him. My dad told me that from as long as I can remember. And as a result, if I met fascists, I didn't run away. And I used to, when I was 16, I never actually joined the Communist Party. I was never a communist as such. But I used to go to Communist Party meetings because they were the people who confronted the fascists. So yeah, we were aware of Hitler, but of course we knew nothing at that time about the concentration camps. Nothing whatsoever. That didn't come out until well into the war, probably 43, 44. Even 43, there was very little. 44 and 45, there was a little bit of talk about it. It was only when we got to the camps, when the British Army and the American Army and the Russian Army got to the camps, that we found out what it was all about. So, yes, definitely we knew all about Hitler. And we also, anybody with any common sense realised that a war was coming, because you kept reading about these things, but Hitler had walked into the Sudetenland and Hitler had walked into Czechoslovakia, and you automatically thought, well, where the hell is he going to go to next? So yes, I personally was very conscious. I'm not sure whether the same would apply to everybody else. That was right.
And what did you think on the Munich Agreement?
You have to remember, I was very young, so I was 17. The Communist Party at that time, and I associated with a number of people in that party. I was never active as such, but I merely saw them as the anti-fascists. Because you have to remember, at that time, neither the Labour Party nor the Conservative Party in Britain were anti-fascist. They were not anti-fascist. They were trying to come to terms with them. They weren't anti. It was only the Communist Party that was anti-fascist, and for the wrong reason. I ceased to have anything to do with the Communist Party when they made the alliance with Hitler in 1939, I think. 1938 or 39. So forgive me, what was your question again?
No, you've already answered it. It was just, what was your thoughts on the Munich Agreement?
Yeah. The Munich Agreement, the Communist Party said it was the greatest political carve-up in history, where Chamberlain had been deceived. But the general opinion, I think, of the national newspaper was that this was going to solve all the problems.